Where do I think everyone is in the tier list? Rasmus. I put him here. That's for sure. Rasmus is a bit strong right now. Even after the nerf. He's definitely like top like 2 strikers in the game. Like no question. For forwards. Because he just has so many awakenings he can take. He can never like really take such a terrible awakening draft. And when you get the size awakenings, bro, he hits, bro. Hits hard. Really hard to dodge. Very big Rasmus primary. The secondary is so big after that. You can just use it to win trick wars. This character's got it all. He can play midfield, he can play forward, he can play goalie. I don't know. He's just too strong, too all-around character. He's pretty much good in every situation. We can go over Juliette. Now, I think Juliette is definitely not as strong as Rasmus. You know, I haven't seen that much Juliette. I've mainly banned it now, though. There's a lot of Juliette 1-tricks. I mean, this character's pretty easy to pick up and learn. So, if you're going by, like, easy to play and, like, how much you get awarded for it, I'd put it higher. But I think she's kind of outclassed a little bit, Erasmus and stuff right now. So I'll put her top A tier. But she does have these tools where she can just kill players without any stagger on them. You can just knock them out with her basic abilities. She doesn't even need to use any ults. She just dash punch them. That's like her main strength. And, like, dash punch for goals, she's very strong at that. But I don't think she's the strongest in the game. Rasmus can kind of do everything to go. And after the nerf, she goes down to A tier. Okay. That 5-second cooldown nerf, you know, I haven't played her, but I was against a decent amount. It's the same as Zentaro's ult, which is better. Asher right now, I think, is like really strong, personally. Whenever I see this character picked and they have like a pretty decent midfield, she seems really OP, honestly. But she's like more of a pick you can pick into something else. You don't want to pick her with brawlers because then she feels useless. But if you get some like the right comp with her, she's like really strong. She's kind of harder to kill with her secondary, giving her decreased damage and knockback. And she has the best stuffing power with her primary being on such a low cooldown, just bonking like everywhere around her. So I'd say she's also an A tier Juliette. But if you have the right comp, she's higher. She's like one of the best triggers in the game. But she's not as flexible as Rasmus and Juliette for sure. Let's go over my homie Rune. I haven't touched this character that much recently. Now Rune's a pretty weird spot right now. Honestly, with the fucking voice line where he yells his ability ult now, he's kind of worse. Because if people have sound cues, they can kind of tell what's coming easier. But I think he's still really good. But I haven't touched him that much. So this is more of a random guess or so. But I feel it's like he's not on the same tier list as these guys. Maybe he's like low A, but I think he's high B. He's pretty good. Maybe we'll move him up later, but he's pretty awakening dependent with getting creation awakenings or getting some damage. Like when you're playing Rune, you normally want to be playing for either getting your pillars up big and just controlling the map and killing people that way, or just stacking tons of damage and just like playing off your banish to kill players. You don't really do much in between. You have like 2 different like play styles you can really like play towards around. And he's pretty good at controlling the whole map whenever his prime is up. What's off cooldown, you know, he's pretty suffering. Like he's only got a strike and he can put a secondary down to like have another strike work kind of. But besides that, his primary is best. Secondary is pretty good too, but when his primary is on cooldown, it's like a different champ. So he'll go into B tier for now. Now Ai.Mi. I'm very questionable where to put this character. I think this character is very strong. She can kind of do what Juliette does with her basic abilities, where she can dash and glitch pop you, kill you that way. She's a very flexible character. She can play for like damage, core control, everything. She's a range character with all these pills in her kit. She's got a lot of things to work around. And because of that, I think she goes in A tier, honestly. I'd put her like slightly behind Asher. I think one of the main reasons that Ai.Mi forward is not like the best character or like top is because, you know, goalie's just better. Let's be real. Ai.Mi goalie's build diff. Maybe I'll even put her with Rune in B tier. We'll see. Honestly, she feels strong, but she's not like the Ai.Mi 1-tricks, bro. They make me put her in A tier. I mean, I don't like Ai.Mi, bro. Because Ai.Mi is cancerous, okay? She does 5 bajillion damage, and she can hit you from far away, or she can literally just blink into you and like glitch pop you and kill you if you're near a wall like Juliette. So in solo queue, she's got those carry tool potentials as well. Now Kai as a forward. Kai as a forward, he's kind of whisk. Let's be real, okay? He's really kind of playable on like only a few maps in high elo, and if you get like good awakenings. Kai goalie, it's a different matter, but Kai forward, you know, look at all the other characters you can play. Like you can play Ai.Mi instead of Kai, you can play like Estelle instead of Kai, and have like these different abilities. On Kai, you're just kind of playing for the dribble. You're playing to get like whenever I play Kai, like the optimal way is just like getting the ball up and just scoring, using your move speed to keep with the ball, but that could be disrupted pretty easily. So he just doesn't have enough tools in his arsenal, I think, to compete with the rest of the cast in forward position. In goalie, he works pretty well because he can like traverse the map a little bit more, and so he can play aggressive when he needs to be, like run up and then run back into his goal box. But like midfield Kai, he kind of just like it's kind of hard when you're playing midfield Kai to get past like some of these other midfielders. You know what I'm saying? But because of that, I think I'll put him in C tier right now, top of C tier. Again, we could probably move around this tier list later, but okay. X. Now, X is the character that lives and dies by his ultimate. If he gets good ultimate awakenings, he's broken, right? He's really strong. Be like around here when you be like specialized cast blast, like he just goes crazy, man. This character is live and die by the ult. He's very awakening reliant. Because of that, he's not the most consistent character. He can get shut down early if you focus him. So if X isn't giving it to you, he's getting it given to him. So he's gonna get fucked. But even though that's still like that, he's like a pretty decent brawler pick, depending on situations, like depending on your team comp. If you have someone to set him up with damage, if you got like an era that can buff him up, shrink enemies, good. But only those situations does he thrive. That's why he's gonna go like bottom of the B tier, I think. The X, he can either be like so powerful, or he can be like so useless, man. You're playing with the X, when you're playing with the X, you're like, oh, what do I do, man? We're down at 4. This guy's like level 3 still, and everyone else in the game is like level 6. This guy's just trying to spin on people doing 0 damage because his basic abilities don't do shit, man. He's ult scaling. When he gets ult scaling, he goes crazy. So until they buff his basic abilities and nerf his ult more, I don't know, man. It's kind of a caster minion sometimes. So we're gonna put him bottom B tier. I mean, he can definitely use those abilities to kill, but not as strong as most of the rest of the cast. Let's be real. Okay. Atlus has a forward. Now, this may come to a surprise to you, but I think he's actually not super terrible. He's actually pretty best sometimes. Like, you're playing Atlus forward, you kind of just sit on the enemy goalie box, and you kind of use like all your creations that you use to like defend, kind of just score on them because they all like just fucking bonk them and make them not able to do anything for a second. And this giant Atlus expanse in their goal box, so can pop off. So I put him in bottom C tier. I don't think anyone is like truly D tier. So I think Atlus, you can play him in certain situations. He's actually not terrible. But Dubu is just a better version of Atlus forward, I think. He's just got bigger strike hitbox. He's actually really good if they don't have any brawlers. He's actually like actually pretty good because he can just kind of like not get punished ever. And you can like play near their net and just like get the ball up. I've won most of my games when people have requested me to play him. So honestly, he might even be better than Kai. But you know what? I'll put him behind Kai because I don't want to do my boy like that. You know, Dubu will stay right here. But he definitely has this opportunity to shine. Just if he's not getting killed, man, his strike hitbox and his abilities are really hard to deal with. In front of Kai, it's funny. Fine. Honestly, might even be better than Kai. Because when he's good, he's pretty good. But there's times where he's just playing against brawlers and he just gets fucked. Drek'ar, he's so good because he just like is so good at winning midfield past other players and just being sneaky with his invis. He can finish off KOs and he can kind of set up KOs with his ult. His shotgun doesn't do the most damage right now, but he basically has like 3 strikes because he has 2 on his shotgun and 1 on his regular strike. So because of that, I think he's going to be like bottom of the S tier. He's probably one of the best midfielders in the game right now, personally. He's pretty good. If you're playing brawler though, I'll be honest, you're a coper, just like me. This character is not a brawler no longer, unfortunately. You just play him to get the ball past players and to sometimes finish KOs instead of KOs. Like, that's it. This cloak is great for mind games, but it's less great than in beta. In beta, you could use it to like play for orbs or KOs or score. There's so many things you could do with it. But now it's more like reading the enemy and just kind of hiding your presence on the map. It's still pretty useful, but not as useful as before, I feel like. but this character is still OP because they increase the shotgun range to be like ginormous for reason. Anyways, Era. I don't see that much Era now. I feel like she's not like the most broken character in the game right now, and she's kind of boring to play for most players. So they don't really pick her. But besides that, I think she's still really good. She's definitely, like, if you get, like, certain awakenings, like, Cast Slash, she's just so fucking broken. And she's so reliant. Like, she's so, like, but she's so reliant on, like, brawlers, having a brawler as her teammate. If you don't have one, if you're playing Aaron in midfield, you're kind of just trolling. So, because of that, I'll put her in B tier. She's definitely a pretty decent character, though. And I think people are... I don't know if either underrating her. I feel like people just don't like playing her. I feel like the only person who actually likes playing this character in Halo is Corey and like hook resets. But I could be wrong. I don't know. She's one of my least favorite characters to play. Her playstyle is like so supportive, but I'd rather play damage supports, honestly. Okay. Getting past that though, we have Estelle. Now, people think this character. Some people think this character is bad. Some people think this character is super good. She's kind of just like there. I think she's worse than Ai.Mi, but she's still really good. I'm kind of hesitant. I don't know. I don't know if she's better or worse than Rune, though. Because she's like the least awakening dependent character in this game. But she also doesn't have that like crazy hyper scaling that some characters have, you know? She's there, and you kind of playing the same character from start to end, kind of. Like you get some buffs on her, sure, but she's pretty much the same character throughout the whole game. She's definitely got a lot of abilities to keep it up, but she's got a lot of long cooldowns, so I don't know. It's like, you could swap these two. I don't know what I want to... I'm a Rune enjoyer. I'm a Rune enjoyer. Okay, moving on. Finii. Now, for my games as Finii, she is... very strong. I mean, I am a brawler player mainly, but I've just been playing Finii whenever I see I have a brawler teammate, and I win almost every single game. And because of that, I'm just gonna put her top S tier. Like, honestly, throughout my game experience so far, I've just been winning, so I'm putting her here. She could just, when she has a creation awakening, bro, there's no counterplay. She just puts her all on the barrier. She has so much damage to set up her teammates with. If you play this character right, she can definitely do some cool things. And her secondary, not only is it good for stacking up damage, but it's also really good for controlling the map, because it's basically just a rune killer. It's just got a slightly longer cooldown than its primary, but it's got like longer range and like elastic hitbox. But it's not creation, obviously. But it doesn't need that. It comes out when it needs to, and you can just kind of make some cool plays with it. I think that this character has like so much stuff in her kit, and she's pretty cool. And so I'm gonna put her in this year. Honestly, she's quite strong right now. Now, Juno. Juno. I hate Juno. I think that Juno is not very good. In Halo, that is. This is like more of a Halo tier list, if you guys were wondering already. That's why I'm putting characters here. Or else I would not put Juno this low. But I honestly think she's like right here. I mean, she's like usable when you're playing on Oni build or like a giant map and you have like some hotshot or some shit. I don't know. Juno is just like kind of whiffs, honestly. There's a reason I don't see this character that much in Halo, I think. I think they're all stuck in platinum or some shit. I don't know. But yeah. She's not very good because she doesn't have as much damage. She has one playstyle, which is using all her blobos to get the ball up. But guess what? It's pretty easy to strike for a blobo, okay? Let's be real now. As long as you're waiting and having patience with it, you could probably win against an inanimate object, okay? I guess they're somewhat animate, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this character doesn't like give anything but her blobos getting the ball upfield. Like, that's it. She like, no Junos play for damage. And while her damage scaling isn't the worst anymore, it's like utterly terrible, it's still not high enough to, I think, put her higher than this, because maybe she's better than Kai, honestly. No cap, as a forward. But, you know, I just don't like Juno in my team. She feels so bad to play with. Like, you do have one thing you can play with, which is literally just hope Juno can get the ball past them and score. That's it. That's all you can play for when you have this character in team. Now, Luna after the buffs, bro. The secondary buffs for this character, all in good hands. is kind of BIS. This character seems actually so strong as a forward. Honestly, might even put her higher than this. This character has so much damage. Her CDs are very low now. So she doesn't have that, she has less inconsistency because she has that super dash and it's on like a lot lower cooldown now. And she has so much damage. I think in good hands, in these good Luna hands. If you're good at this character as a forward, they can pop, bro. It's so easy to play around these players once they're good. Like, they just set up damage for you. They just explode the enemy. And they can get the ball up more too now. Because they just have more cooldowns for, like, mobility. I may be a Cobra, but I think she goes like right here. The head of Asher. I think. Personally. I think she's better than Vyce right now as a forward. I'd put Vyce. Where'd I put Vyce? It's like, I don't see that much Vyce. I think she's kind of like held back by her longer cooldown. She can make some really cool plays, but also on such a long cooldown. I feel like you really need like extra specials near this champ. She feels so inconsistent to play with because, like we said, her long cooldowns. She's like Luna forward, but longer cooldowns. She has an insta blink, so she can go to where she wants after the secondary's down, instead of like having that travel time on her dash. But she just doesn't feel as like that much of a threat as long as you just dodge her ult. She's like so strong though when you have no energy. But besides like her just like spamming primaries on you and secondaries, I don't know. The character feels a lot more useless than Luna. So I'll put her top of B tier. Now Zentaro, I think, is super strong right now. Because after the Vambrace, he kind of just lives. He can't be KO'd as easily. And with the New Awakenings coming back, honestly, I haven't played that much Zentaro since the New Awakenings came back. But he had a lot of good Awakenings that he can use in those. So I'd put him like, I don't know if I'll put him ahead of Rasmus. I'm biased, so I'm going to put him behind Rasmus. That's just because I'm biased, honestly. He probably might just be the best character of the game right now, honestly. No cap. Zen 8 good. Zen 8 good. You know what? Fuck it. There we go. I'll put him there. I'll put him there. But what about Octavia, you might say? What does this character actually do? Well, I would put her like low, but there's this one player that actually knows how to play her in high elo. When he gets cast last, the game's unwinnable, and he chooses it whenever he gets cast last. So this character is really good with certain awakenings and can pretty much take over the game 1v9. So one player, but one player when I just don't ban Octavia because no one else plays it, and then he picks it, and then I lose because I can't win against this player. No one goes against this player. His name is Joker, and if you want to see some good Octavia gameplay, you watch him play the game. I can also play it with somewhat hands, but not as much as him. This character is so strong when you have the right awakenings. Because of that, it still goes here. Because without those awakenings, you're still dog shit. No matter who has hands on this character. He doesn't pick it when he doesn't get a Chrono Boost or cast last start for a reason. Okay. C tier goes. And that is the 4 tier list.